big one, which quite literally just it's literally the reason why you and I exist, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, by and large, it was a very, very good sports week, so I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. We're going to start with a little bit of shrapnel. There's some things in the police blotter, some good news and some bad news. I'll start with the good news. Nikki Yovino, an 18-year-old fuck from Long Island. I like that word. I like that acronym. She has been charged with 2 counts of false reporting. It stemmed from an incident a few months ago in the fall at Sacred Heart University, which is located in Connecticut, where she accused 2 football players from Sacred Heart University of pulling her into a bathroom and sexually assaulting, raping her. Now, the 2 players were eventually kicked off the team. One was expelled, and so what had occurred is that she was talked to, but she reported it to the police, and this is the main reason why a lot of these cases, the feminists do not want people to go to the police first. Want them to go to them first, the Title IX type folks first, is because what happened was, through a series of text conversations and other collateral electronic evidence, they were able to find inconsistencies in her story and get her to admit that she wasn't telling the truth, or to some extent wasn't telling the truth. She pled not guilty, or she didn't enter a plea a couple days ago, but there's a lot of red pill knowledge in that. If you read the police affidavit, she reportedly did it to gain sympathy from a man, and that kind of goes to maybe she wanted to consolidate on a short-term beta bucks prospect, but we know, obviously, why false accusations happen, whether it's a small percentage or a high percentage. We don't know the number, but we know why they happen, and this one fits right in there with red pill boilerplate. And
are you there?
hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
I
I
thought
can hear
you were breaking up there for a little bit. Yeah, this is the typical case, and it's funny. I think women, or actually, I know women, especially college-aged girls, they are very keenly aware in terms of what they can get away with. And because of the Baylor situation, which we've discussed ad nauseum on this particular show, because of the Michigan State situation, which we'll get into a little bit later, because of the University of Minnesota football team, campus rape, Jameis Winston, college-age women are exploiting this to their advantage. They know that all they have to do is say, I was raped, and everyone will believe them. If they have a vendetta against a particular man, or as was with in this particular young woman's case, she wanted to gain sympathy from a man. Whatever reason they decide to do it, they know that they can pull the trump card, now known as I was raped by a football player or by the football team. And it's good that finally there's going to be retribution, for these particular football players, and hopefully this young woman is prosecuted to the full extent of the law, because when you make a false rape accusation, you turn a man's life upside down. Even if most of the time they don't get convicted, because most public rape accusations are false anyway. But even if he's not convicted, his life is essentially turned upside down. I'll even take it back to the Duke lacrosse boys from back in 2006. Reed Seligman, Colin Finnerty, and David Evans, their lives were forever changed, and they weren't convicted. I mean, the case didn't even go to trial, because of course Crystal Gale Mangum was lying on the boys. But they can never show their face. I mean, and they're all highly successful now. They live in the Northeast. Chances are they'll probably never visit the state of North Carolina again. But
yeah, they have a safety net.
Of course they do. Right. And listen, I mean, let's be honest here. They all 3 boys came from families with that were all well-to-do, so they were able to hire great legal representation. Be that as it may, it's not the conviction that women are looking for. They couldn't care less about the conviction. They want it is their goal to make men social pariahs, to create outrage. And 9 times out of 10, they just think of some story to tell a lie because they know that something negative is going to happen.
Yeah. And in the case of someone like Erica Kinsman and some others, they can actually turn this into a cottage industry. But thankfully, this young lady's gambit was shut down, and hopefully Sacred Heart will do the right thing and not just admit the players. From what I understand, they brought one of the players back, but he's not on scholarship. Give him his full scholarship, but you're not going to see ESPN pounding the drum to get this young man the scholarship back.
Right.
But that's something that we're going to be working on in terms of an announcement I'm working on, and some things I'm working on in the background that we've discussed. Now, the bad news, well, it's actually partial good news and bad news. With the Minnesota football team, as you just alluded to, the campus disciplinary proceeding has concluded. The campus appeal has concluded, and 4 players were cleared. 4 players were expelled. 1 player already had a 1-year suspension, and he had that upheld. And another player who was to be expelled got his expulsion reduced to a 1-year suspension. So, and I'm going to segue into something now. We are in touch with people close to this, and some that may be involved in the football team, and they may become part of the movement that I'm trying to create, that I'm trying to find donors for. These names will remain anonymous and off the record. At this time, you and I know who they are,
right.
But we're not going to reveal them because of the toxic atmosphere, and obviously we don't want to compromise any legal proceedings they might have in the future, and we want to make sure we maintain their trust while we do this on the low, on the down low, and try to build this movement of red pill awareness amongst college athletes and spread it amongst young men. But just use this as the entry point to try to create sort of a foothold and a beachhead against the gender grievance industrial complex. And we have the name. We're in contact with the parent of a prominent NFL player who shall remain nameless, but has had some interesting issues going on with the gender grievance industrial complex. And we're working on that in the background. But it looks very exciting and possibly promising.
Yeah, I think that I think we're on the cusp of something big here. I think that as word gets out more and more, and I remember a few episodes ago, I think it was probably episode 5 or 6, you asked a very important question. You said, who's going to be the first to stand up? Who's going to be the first to come out and say, hey, the feminine or the feminist imperative is bullshit, and we're not going to take it anymore? Well, guess what? 2 weeks later, we were blessed with the University of Minnesota football team. So it's good. It's good that you have that you've made some headway in that, and I really do believe that this could really. I think this could start positive change with regards to how this stuff goes. Because this, listen, you and I mean, listen, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure this out. This is a real problem.
Yep. And we know that the universities at this point are not going to serve 2 masters, as it were, because are getting universities people in and promote these anti-male messages, and essentially codifying some sort of obligation on men to throw their capes on and protect women, not just try to prevent rape or try to prevent domestic assault in their various forms, and promoting a very one-sided narrative. So we're going to need to work from the other end, and if we can get a few soldiers, and obviously when you're a soldier you can get shot, and
that's
but we're going to
exactly
get a few soldiers on the front end, but on the back end we're looking for confidential donors that have some serious money and that are well heeled to help us promote this and really get out there, because to do this work it's going to take a little money if we're going to do something ambitious, but regret not the days of small beginnings, but we're getting our grind on.